All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're zeroing in on a single, powerful verse from the book of Revelation. We're talking just a few words, but they completely flip the script on what it means to win. We are unpacking Revelation 11, verse 12. Come up hither. That's it. Just 4 words, a command straight from heaven. But trust me, these 4 words, they are the key that unlocks an absolutely profound story of victory. This isn't just a gentle invitation, it's a declaration that is about to change everything. So, to really feel the full impact here, you have to picture the scene. We're in the 11th chapter of Revelation. There are these 2 witnesses who have been speaking truth to power. Well, they get killed for it, murdered, and their bodies are just left in the street as a warning. But then, after 3.5 days, they come back to life. And it's right at that moment that they hear this incredible command from the heavens. And here's the kicker, the second part of the verse. And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Let that sink in. There are 2 huge things happening here. 1, they're ascending. But 2, and this is so important, their enemies are forced to watch it happen. This is not a private, quiet affair. This is a show. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Okay, an ascension. I've heard this one before, right? The Bible has stories of people being taken up to heaven. But this one, this one has a twist. There's a much, much deeper layer here that makes it totally unique. So what's the game changer? What's the one detail that gives this whole event its meaning? It's the audience. Plain and simple. This is not a peaceful departure witnessed by loving friends and followers. No way. This is a public spectacle, a performance put on for the very enemies who were just celebrating their death. And this, right here, is the heart of it all. This isn't about escaping a bad situation. This is about being publicly glorified. It's a declaration of victory, shouted from the heavens for everyone to hear. It's God looking at the old, corrupt system and saying, "You thought you won? You did not win." It is total, absolute vindication, right in the faces of those who oppose them. You know, to really appreciate how special this moment is, we need to put it in context. There are other famous ascensions in the Bible, for sure, but when you put them side by side, wow. The raw, confrontational power of Revelation 11:12 just jumps off the page. Let's just take Jesus' ascension in the book of Acts, for example. Who's watching? His disciples. And what's the purpose? It's about passing the torch, promising his return. The whole tone is peaceful, almost bittersweet. But then you look at Revelation. The audience? Enemies. The purpose? Total vindication. The tone? It's a confrontational, in-your-face victory. It's the same kind of event, but the meaning could not be more different. And this imagery of clouds and ascending, it's got a long, rich history. You've got Elijah being taken up in a whirlwind, super dramatic. Daniel sees the Son of Man coming with the clouds as a sign of authority. Jesus is received by a cloud. But look at the pattern. Revelation takes all that history and puts a final, brilliant twist on it. Here they ascend in a cloud, turning it into a divine chariot of victory, all while their enemies are forced to look on. Okay, now let's geek out a little bit, because if you want the receipts, if you want the proof that this interpretation holds up, you gotta look at the original Greek. The sheer force and authority of this moment, it's baked right into the grammar. So get this, the Greek word for come up is anabate. Now, this isn't a suggestion, it's not a polite request. In Greek grammar, this is what's called the imperative mood. That means it's a direct, forceful command. It's not, hey, maybe you'd like to come up. It is ascend now to this specific place. It's a summons from the ultimate authority. And what about the enemies watching? The Greek word for behelds here is ethioreson. This is where we get our English word theory or even theater. It doesn't mean they just caught a quick glimpse. It means they had to watch, observe, and contemplate what was happening. They were the designated observers, forced to witness the total glorification of the very people they thought they had silenced forever. So when you put it all together, the context, the audience, the raw power of the original language, the message is just crystal clear. This isn't just about being elevated. This is about being vindicated. Completely. So let's bring this all home. Let's see how all these threads weave together into one big, powerful statement. Because this verse isn't just a story about 2 witnesses. No, it's a symbolic proclamation of divine authority that echoes the story of Jesus himself. And this is the whole picture right here. This ascension is the final word in a long battle. It is definitive proof of God's authority. It signals the complete and utter defeat of the old, corrupt system. It shows that being faithful leads to glorification. It establishes dominion and honor. It's a two-sided coin. On one side, unimaginable glory for the faithful, and on the other, undeniable defeat for their enemies. So why does digging into one verse like this matter so much? Because it completely changes how we think about ascension. It's not just about leaving the world behind. It becomes this timeless proclamation that victory over evil isn't just about surviving. It's about being publicly and divinely honored for your faithfulness. And that's really the idea to walk away with. This verse reframes ascension as the ultimate power move. It suggests that sometimes the most profound way to declare victory isn't to stay and fight on the ground, but to be called up, in full view of everyone who opposed you, to a place of honor they can only dream of reaching.